Then we'll be covering variables and inputs. We are continuing our QBasic journey or education. So, what are variables? Think of variables as boxes or containers that are used to store values, to store data. There are two types of variables. In QBasic, we are looking at numbers and strings. In the case of strings, we use a symbol, the $sign, to represent strings. So the numbers actually are different. For the strings, normally have these symbols. So there are 4 types of numeric data types. So for the numbers, we have 4 types. So we can talk about integers, which is numbers. We can talk about long integers, which are also numbers, single precision and double precision. For the integers, we are looking at numbers within that range, negative 32,767 to 8 positive digits, that is 32,767. So that is the range of the numbers that we can assign to a variable in QBasic. Also, we have that of the long integers. So a long integer is like a double of that of the integer. So it has a bigger range than the normal integer, and it uses more memory. Floating numbers that is single precision numbers are also decimal numbers. So there are numbers with single precision numbers are decimal numbers with less decimal points. That is 2 or 3. But for the double precision, it means that we are doubling that is the number of decimal places, that is the decimals. So that is the idea of the types of numeric data types. So these are 4 under the number data types. We have 4, which is the integer, the long text, the long integers, single precisions, double precisions. That is it. So if you track back, you look at the variables. See, the variables, they are in 2 categories. So the number and the strings. And the number, we have 4 specific categories within the number data type or variable. That is what it is. And if you look at each card that is having a specific type of number, you have integers, long integer. All these types have a symbol to represent them. So you see there's some symbols that are just beside the number itself. These symbols are the shortcuts or the numbers and the symbols that are used in addition to the values to help us create the variable. That is what we mean. So how do we create variables? Having learned what a variable is and having learned the types of variables, you can create a variable using the let keyword. Let keyword is a command which allows us to create variables. If you look at the nodes that we have, so we have let number. The number is the variable, and 1, 2, 3 is the value. The number is the variable, and 1, 2, 3 is the value. Another example of a variable, we have number, which is equal to number plus 1. So whatever be the number. So if you look at the first code, number is equal to 1, 2, 3. So we are referencing that number and adding 1 to it to output a variable name which is called number. And we can also print that number out again. Can display the results. So the keyword or the let command is actually optional in QBasic. You can just go straight for the variable. You can assign the value to the variable. In the case of numbers, so the input, how do we get user feedback? Programming is interactive, so there's a need for the user to also add an input. And in QBasic, we have a command which is input command. It helps us to help the user to also input or get some feedback. Get me? So because in this code, let's look at the example that we have. Input what is your name. So the text inside the quotation marks are just strings, they are just text. But the word that comes next, the username, you see the dollar sign we talked about. So this is actually, this makes it a variable, and the type of variable that we're talking about is a string variable because it has that symbol, and we can print the name that you type. It will be printed out inside, so because it will be stored inside the variable. So that is it. So having learned what a variable is, how we can, the types of variables, and how we can create variables, and some few examples of variables. I would like you to challenge. I'd like to challenge you on these examples. I'd like you to write a program that asks for a user's name and age, then print this user's age and name, or you can add other variables if need be, and see. So I want you to experiment on this try work, and you can contact me in the comment section, and I'll do it.